Welcome to this edition of Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle. We're just about to November, and we have about 8 weeks left in the year. Thinking back on our New Year's resolutions from last year, thinking I was going to lose about 30 pounds. Well, I've lost half of that, about 15 pounds down. Put on some muscle. Feeling generally pretty good. Had some health issues, if you recall, like prostate surgery, then atrial fibrillation, and then some pre-diabetes. These issues seem to have improved, but then passed a kidney stone and a few other things. Got ready for my annual exam coming up in about 2 weeks. I always like to show up to that being a little bit more lean than the previous year. So, just finished a 6-week fitness challenge. Did pretty well, kept track of my sets and cardio minutes, trying to average about 50 to 55 of those points per day. Completed most of it and feel pretty good at this point, although feeling a little bit tired and worn. So, what to do for the next 8 weeks? I did a survey online looking at my current fitness level, my body fat, etc. It said 81% of my improvement in health would be addressed by diet. So how to improve my diet? I've been on Weight Watchers for about 5 years. Initially lost about 40 pounds. Then just sort of hit a plateau for, let's say, the last 4 years. Up and down 5 to 10 pounds at times, but pretty much not really able to get my body fat below about 29%. It's a program that's gone through several evolutions over the last few years. Currently they use a point system for foods. They give you a certain amount of points per day based on your current weight and a few other factors, but they have a whole bunch of 0-point foods. So you can eat foods that have points, and the idea is to basically stop when you've reached your point value for the day. But your 0-point foods are unlimited. I find for myself, I like to eat a lot of food, and so my strategy is going to be to try and follow their system again, try and be meticulous about recording my points, and focusing on 0-point foods. You might ask, what are those 0-point foods? How restrictive is it? Well, actually not very restrictive at all. It includes lean meats, things such as a hamburger with 93% lean, 7% fat, lean pork, includes eggs, some dairy, non-fat yogurt, and cottage cheese. Vegetables, pretty much unlimited, including corn and oats. Not a whole lot of other grains that are 0-point. Things like bread, pastas, and whatever do have points. Again, they're converted more quickly into sugars in your body, and they often contain a significant amount of fat. Fish and shellfish, things like sardines packed in water are 0 points, but packed in oil, soybean oil, is about, I think it's 3 points per can of 5 sardines. Other fish, your typical like cod, salmon, haddock, are 0 points, so you're unlimited. Vegetables, just about all vegetables are 0-point foods. Let me check my list here, because it's pretty extensive. Beans have been found by research to be one of the healthiest foods, very high in fiber. They're filling. They have a combination of complex carbohydrates and proteins, and that's it. So your foods that have points, like bread, which I love bread, and other whole grains, sugars. So most desserts, you have to be careful with those. Fats, The program tries to steer you towards healthier fats such as olive oil and avoid your hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated fats and saturated fat. Milk generally has points, like 3 points for a cup even of skim milk. And almond milk also contains points, things like that. And condiments often are a source of sort of hidden sugars, so they often contain points. So to address the 81% I need to work on, I'm going to try and follow this diet. We have the holidays coming up. I'm going to have to be particularly careful and try and stay within my point range. On Weight Watchers, you can add some weekly points by doing physical activity, which can be pretty significant. If you're doing daily exercise, let's say an hour or two of walking, lifting weights, or other exercise, you can increase those point values, which allows you somewhat of a less restricted diet. But I find that despite exercising really hard, I don't watch my points and what I'm eating, I don't lose any body fat. Some of the studies on longevity, or how to maintain health late into your senior years, have come up with recommendations, including diet, which in some ways reflects the 0-point foods on the Weight Watchers plan, but primarily recommending an increase in amount of vegetables, particularly the leafy greens such as spinach, kale, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, etc. A whole host of different vegetables. To limit your red meats and saturated fats, increase your intake of oily fish such as sardines and salmon. Try to get exercise every day, which is why I post these videos, and have some meaning in your life. For me, it's being part of Silver Sneakers, trying to promulgate my interest and expertise in fitness and health, and maintain relationships. So as far as exercise, some of the most important exercise is to work on balance and also the ability to maintain strength in your legs. And they found that one exercise that is particularly useful is the ability to get up off of the floor without assistance from another person. It's okay to have assistance with an object, platform, post, whatever, but just the ability to get down on the floor and get up from that position. Once you get into a kneeling position, then bring the leg up. So you have a knee for and your leg for strong support. You can put a hand down to get the other leg up. Just stand up. So a warm-up exercise I like to do is get down on the floor, get up, and then do some trunk twists. I don't do a set number of these. I just do them until I get tired of them. It can take a while. One thing you can add is rotate your head side to side. If this makes you dizzy, you can just look forward. And I want to get back down onto the floor. And then come up to kneeling, hands flat on the floor. We call this a tabletop position. And we can arch our back and then arch the other direction. So we arch up and we arch down. This is called a cat-cow. go into a bird dog exercise from that position, but I think it's better to stand back up. You noticed on that one I didn't use the support of my knee, trying to just improve my ability to get up from that kneeling position. For bird dog, we're back in that same tabletop. We lift one arm and the opposite leg and alternate. During this exercise, you want to keep your hips and your shoulders pretty stable so you're not a lot of wobbling side to side. If you do find you do have to rotate to get your leg up, it's indicating a weakness in your core, so you want to work on strengthening your core. You can even pulse these. I find I'm much more comfortable getting up if I bring my left leg forward for some reason. So I'm going to bring my right and see about getting up from here. Might indicate a weakness in my quads or my hips, or just habit. Then I find that a bit more difficult. So now let's get back on the floor. Next, we're going to do what's called a dead bug. So bring your knees up, and there you straighten one leg at a time. And then you add the arms, where the opposite arm goes behind your head. Not only is that a good exercise, crosses the fibers of the body, which is working on your fascia, it's a coordination problem. And as you saw, there were a couple times where I moved the wrong arm or I moved the other arm forward. So trying to keep one arm straight, the other one going back, requires a lot of mental activity, which is another important aspect of trying to maintain health as we age. Other things you can do, I like to do a daily crypto-quip puzzle in the newspaper, the Wordle. I do one called Wordectomy, which is a medical quiz trying to fill in words on a Wikipedia article where they've removed like 99% of the words, any guess words. But it's a very nice way to kind of just review information and a challenging puzzle. Play chess, checkers, any number of activities, trying to keep your brain sharp, motivated, and moving around. Other thing is, keep a journal of your daily activities, your plans and goals. It's important to try and maintain a futuristic outlook as to how you're going to spend your day, how you're going to spend the week, the next years, as we move into our senior life. Continuing with the sort of same theme of combining exercise with balance, fascia type exercises, I like to do a dumbbell press where I put my weight on one leg, opposite the dumbbell, and try and press it overhead. As you can see, this requires some significant balance work. So if you have to touch your foot down, that's no problem. This isn't so much about strengthening the shoulders, but working on this fascia which crosses the body on this one. It's always reasonable to have a support or some sort of platform nearby to help with balance if you need it. Another exercise working on the posterior chain would be a one-leg deadlift, where put a weight in one hand. I like to have it on the side of my supporting leg, and you lift the opposite leg behind you and reach the weight towards the floor, trying to maintain a neutral spine. Come back up. I think when I find I'm doing an exercise that challenges my balance, maybe I lose my balance, maybe I need to step down, that is actually a good exercise. And my goal is to get better at it to where I can maintain balance by strengthening my core, activating the balance sensors in my brain, but not seeing it as a failure, but part of training. Another exercise is to take your weight in both hands, offset your feet, and you're going to twist towards the back corner or your back leg and push the weight out. And repeat this. And switch to the other side. There's many things you can do to try and increase your mobility and exercising this fascia. One is to be in a kneeling position, one leg forward, take your weight and bend over towards the side. Going to finish up this session. I'm going to spend some time on a stationary bicycle, try and get my heart rate at this about 75% predicted maximum over probably my zone 2 and 3 exercise intensity. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to see you again in the near future.